everybody. Welcome to a brand new series on our channel called On Record. This is the first episode of our series On Record, where we kind of have a little different way of presenting our package to you all on this YouTube channel. So today, for the first episode of On Record, our topic is education during the times of the pandemic. And we all know how Corona disrupted an entire year of our lives, how it took away our families from us, kept us away from family, away from work, away from social gatherings, and a lot more. So today we're going to be deliberating on how education has changed during the pandemic. What have been the new ways that were adopted during this time? And ever since the government decided to go ahead with education through the online medium, there have been a lot of pros and cons of having education online. While it's given students easier access to education, where they could sit within the four walls of their homes and study with their teachers through the online mode, or for that matter, teachers coming up with new and innovative ways to impart education and learning to students, and where they had to keep abreast with technology. A lot of students would say that they missed out on social interaction on the campus in school, because somehow, whether it's about education or whether you go to school to study and get educated, of course you learn from peers, you learn from friends, and there's a lot that happens beyond the classrooms that you learn from and you gain from in terms of holistic education. We've also had a lot of information about how parents had to kind of stay on top of everything, ensuring the students had to be completing their work on time at home, attending online classes. So there's been a lot that has gone through in terms of education during the pandemic, and therefore today we are going to be understanding how it has worked for different people. So today we're going to be having a panel of a student, a parent, a teacher, and a psychologist who are going to kind of deliberate on how the pandemic has taken forward the education scenario in our state, and what are the ways forward about how, now that we have classes going on campuses, could we incorporate both the online and offline medium? Could we use more technology to impart education? Could students use their time to gain access to information, courses at their fingertips using the internet and various study materials?
We went ahead and spoke to a few people who are directly or indirectly affected by the ongoing pandemic to know how they are coping with online mode of learning teaching, its advantages and disadvantages, their take on this topic, the way forward, and a lot more. We have Aryavrat Malhotra, an outspoken student currently pursuing mass communication at Don Bosco College, Panjim, parent and businessman Abhay Kudchadkar, who will talk about his views on online learning. We have with us Assistant Professor of Psychology Ridhima Shirodkar. She's done a MSc in Clinical Psychology and MSc in Applied Behavior Analysis. She has worked with NGOs like National Association for the Blind and Sangat. She's currently working as an Assistant Professor of Psychology in Government College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Khandola. We also have with us Principal of VS Dempo Higher Secondary School of Arts, Science and Commerce, Kujira, Bambolim, Rupa Sanjay Khope. She has been teaching physics for 36 years and has been the principal for the past 5 years. As a principal, she has introduced many innovative teaching learning techniques and successfully conducted and normalized online mode of teaching. In order to help the students all over, she has also started her own YouTube channel named Physics Amplified, which has gained popularity among students. We thank you for being a part of the first episode of this series On Record.
First of all, let me be completely clear with my bias. I personally prefer offline classes much, much, much more than online classes. In theory, on paper, online classes seem amazing. They're like every student's dream. But when it comes to actually practical learning and meeting your friends and everything, all of that, online classes do not compare to offline classes. But the fact remains that online classes have given a way for students to learn more casually and more freely. Personally, giving my own example, I used to travel about 30 to 40 kilometers one way to college every single day, and that would mean about 60 to 80 kilometers of traveling every single day. And that used to be very exhausting, the traffic and all of that. But online classes have allowed me to stay in my bed or to sit in a chair and learn right from there. And I'm pretty sure it has given capabilities to tons of other students who face similar issues and allowed them to attend classes and learn very easily.
I'm a parent of two grown-up children. My eldest son is engineering, and my daughter is in 12th science. Now, coming to these online classes, online learning, online learning is born out of an accidental tragedy called COVID-19 pandemic. We as teachers, students, and parents are struck at a range of feelings of an unexpected intruder in our lives. That is the digital technology for live classes. Now, the challenges of internet of these online classes is multifaceted. The high-end institutions, whether it is private, whether it is public, they have made a smooth transition from a physical learning to this is of online classes by using various platforms such as Google Classrooms, Microsoft Teams, then Zoom, etc. Um, you know, but there are still some schools which are finding this as an Herculean task. Now, coming to the plus and minus points of these online classes, I'll tell you. First, I'll take the plus points. Now, the plus points is about the affordability. Now, with online classes, the cost points of the transportation, of the meals of the student, of the real estate is reduced. So it is affordable. The learning has become very affordable. Now, when I say affordable, I'm also talking about the paperless learning. The lessons that you get today are paperless. Now, this is also helping the building up a good environment. Now, the second is about every student has got his own way of learning, own style of living a life. The online gives an opportunity to make this education as a personalized education. When I say personalized, it becomes a perfect learning environment which meets the needs of each and every student. Now, the third issue is about the accessibility. Online education has crossed the geographical boundaries. Today, the students can access his learning from whichever venue they are. They may be at friend's place, they may be at a relative's place, they may be in their own homes. So, the online education offers the accessibility of time and space. Now, with this comes you can learn and you can never miss your classes. So that makes the attendance 100%. Now, coming to the negative side of it. Now, when I talk about the negative side, the prime factor that comes here is a connectivity, internet connectivity. See, our country has grown in leaps and bounds as far as the internet, as far as the technology or digital technology is concerned. But there are still some villages or towns which have, this internet connectivity issue. For education, you need the consistent connectivity with a decent speed so that there are no interruptions between the teacher's teaching and the student's learning. Now, this is very detrimental to the education process. Now, talking about the what we call as the staring, students are too much staring at the screen. This is a big disadvantage. So when your durability increases by staring at the screen, there are issues of other social sites being discovered by the students. When I say the other social sites, it can be a pornography, it can be other sites which are damaging to the future of the children. Now, for this, what is very imperative is that the teachers must keep these online classes very crisp, very engaging, very interactive, very interesting, so that students focus only on their lessons. Coming to the third point of disadvantages. Basically we are all social animals. And now with the closure of the schools, the students are missing their friends. The students, peers, and the teachers correlation, the physical relation, is always a good sign of healthiness and happiness. But with the closure of the school, the children are in dire straits. What I mean by that is that they are in a state of isolation. Um, Now, coming to as a parent, we have a huge role to play. We have a huge responsibility because every parent has a different style of living. Um, some parents they have work from home, then household chores, then personal work, and so on and so forth. But online learning for parents is not about plug and play. The parents have a role to play because there is an unwritten rule which says that the involvement of the parent and the academic success of the children are correlated. See, when I say this, the parent, irrespective of physical learning or online classes, they have to provide the logistic support, the moral support, the financial support, whatever support. And also it depends on in which grade the students are. Now, if the students are too small, then the responsibility of the parents is huge as far as online learning is concerned. But if the children are grown up, then the involvement of the parents in the life of the children diminishes. So that is quite a natural process.
Hi all. In this pandemic period, we have noticed that there is a lot of change that has taken place, a change in lifestyle, change in routine. But one very important change which we are seeing today is basically the aspect of teaching and learning. We are moving on to a online platform now, merely because coming to college, coming to school can be quite dangerous for the students, teachers, for the supporting staff, as well as for the families of we go back home too. Although online teaching is marvelous, where people from all over the world can kind of come and get a feel of what is being taught, it does have its difficulties. Today, we see that most of the colleges and most of the schools are very well equipped with Wi-Fi, and without Wi-Fi, an individual may actually feel extremely disabled. However, many students have difficulties in being able to cope up with content being taught online, because it's not very easy for them to have this question and answer session. They are not able to give feedback. Also, what I personally feel is that what can be learned on a face-to-face interaction is often not tapped online. Like, a teacher very often gives cues. Students give non-verbal cues to the teacher, and the teacher understands whether to slow her pace down, or has this particular student understood or not. But in online teaching, what happens is that we cannot take tap of each student, though we try our best. Moreover, students also, very often they lose range, they lose connectivity in between classes, so they have missed a particular part, and then they cannot draw that continuity. So these are some of the difficulties, I should say, with online teaching. And apart from this, although a lot of efforts have been made, different kind of modes are being used by teachers. They use PPTs, they use videos, they make it as visual as possible, so that kind of students stay tuned. They are concentrating more. Even the classes are made brief, so that too much of bandwidth is kind of not being used, so that students also they're taken into consideration, because not everybody is privileged. So although the best is being done kind of to make online education very very fruitful and effective, there can be certain difficulties, but we are adjusting to the times, and I think adjusting to the times is what is required today.
During the pandemic situation, we never had an option other than online learning and online teaching. So students were at home and we had to actually train our teachers. The best positive part of online teaching is the teachers who are not techno-friendly learned a lot of techniques how to conduct online classes. In the beginning, there was a lot of enthusiasm among students because they were with the computers. But later on, after some days, only the focused students were concentrating very well. Whereas the other students, we never had a control because we don't know whether the child is there on the other side of the screen or not. That was a problem. But then we started conducting the online test, online exam, and by chat they could answer our questions, and we found out solutions to these problems. And we realized that we are saving a lot of time. There is no transport involved, and there was no other alternative. So students started. We told them that you have to adapt with the situation. In the beginning, it was a little hard for them to concentrate. But slowly, they got adapted. And in online teaching, we conducted seminars and students themselves were presenting the PPTs. And they are really very good at technology, nowadays children. So they were very happy about it. But some students, of course, could not get connectivity because no Wi-Fi, no proper internet facility. Or in some villages, there are no facilities that they will get this online connectivity. In all these situations, we tried to find out the solutions to the problems. And then we decided that some of the students who cannot get this facility, we should call them offline. In offline learning, beauty is you can see the expression in the eyes of the students, or they're happy, or there is a question. And when you see a child learning from you and light of understanding in the eyes of the student, it is the most pleasurable moment for the teacher. Just looking at the screen and no student is properly seen and just talking like that, it is really a Herculean task teaching online. But then slowly, we are now used to both online and offline. In fact, I feel that online and offline should be there throughout now. Now, earlier we were not using the online system at all, but now we have a solution. Even if we want to solve their doubts, even at 9 o'clock in the night, the students connect to the teacher and the teacher sits and solves the doubts comfortably by taking Google Meet or Zoom. And they are using all these apps, and the life has become okay, fine. I can't say in this pandemic that it's beautiful, but yes, it has facilitated our process of teaching learning. Now, one more important thing I want to share. Our teachers learned, they started recording lectures. They started their YouTube unlisted lectures and sending the students. Some teachers also started their YouTube channel. And because of this, students realize that at any time of the day, they can, even one day before the exam, they can refer to it. And it is, we have reached outside the boundary of our school. We have reached everyone in the world because of this online mode. And I feel that this is the very good mode of learning. In crisis, if the child cannot come to school for some reason, some sickness, that child can listen to the lecture from home or see the YouTube lecture of the teacher from home. And teachers themselves can learn so much from other YouTubers who are stalwarts in their field. And this way, the collaborative learning process is going to take place because of that, and it has taken place. So it's very good.
Yes, definitely. Online classes have taken away that freedom of students socializing and taking a break from academics. Although this has also been taken away due to the COVID pandemic, but online classes also do the same. You can't meet your classmates, you can't meet your friends, you can't socialize with them, you can't hang out with them as you would do when you would go to actual classes. You would even socialize with them while sitting in classes. But on online classes, it's just seeing their name on a blank screen, and they are DPs as well. Nothing else. You can't talk. You can't crack jokes. Well, in a certain sense, you can, but the feeling that you've been deprived of, that cannot be matched in an online class compared to an offline class. Online classes, I mean, they have their own advantages, but whenever it comes to learning, socializing, and doing extracurricular activities, offline classes will always be the best and be untouched. And that's what I have to say about it.
Now, coming to a very important aspect of the second question, about the health hazard. as far as the online process is concerned, online learning is concerned. See, it's a big issue. Health issue is a very big issue. Since because what I, the clarity is what the school is the hub of the sports activity, and since because the closure of the school, the children are indoors. Now, how to go about? The first is when you are on the screen for a longer period of time, the students are going to develop a very bad posture, and because they are hunched in the chair for a very long time. Now, this is acts as it's a very bad sign. So, to overcome all these health issues, parents can devise their own family method. For example, they are going to you can give them a kind of interim relief between the lessons to freshen their mind and their body. After all, what is more important for the student is not only the healthy mind and healthy body, but about the cognitive development. And you can bring about this development by using methods like yoga. You can make them work in the garden. You can make them play some games in the backyard. As a family, you can get together and discover some new games. So, of course, nutritious foods will be there for the children, because since they are at home, the pampering will be more. But the health issue can be avoided by giving them, because parents also by themselves can set a very good example, because as parents also exercise, the students who are at home and with the love and care of the parent, the children will also follow the parents, because the parent itself, they must set an example. So health issue can be avoided provided the parents have a willpower and less of pampering, and making them realize that health is all the time wealth. So, my dear friends, it's about online learning is still in the experimental stage in India, but I feel that it will reach a stability level over a course of time. Only I can say that we have adapted to our new normal. So whatever changes prospers, whatever doesn't change perishes. That's all, my dear friends.
Speaking for myself as a teacher, I feel an cumulative approach of kind of online and offline would be much more beneficial for the students, merely because when there is touch, when there is a physical kind of a meeting between the teacher and the student, automatically there is a bond that gets formed, there's a rapport that gets formed, and a teacher understands what a student actually needs. So if I understand that a particular student is more comfortable learning in a visual way rather than maybe a written way, this is how we can help the particular student. So that one-on-one interaction definitely helps. But owing to a circumstance which we are in, a combination of online and offline could be beneficial, keeping in mind the situation, the health of not only the student but the family members of the student as well. Personally, I feel that where psychologically how students are getting affected because of the online is that adolescents especially enjoy coming to college, enjoy having a social gathering, enjoy meeting up with friends of their own age. This is kind of getting hampered in the entire process, and because of which they may start feeling a little frustrated. Secondly, examinations are also online, so they may take it lightly. I'm saying may, I'm not sure if this is with everybody, merely because they have various other modes of getting answers and not just by paying attention to the class. So there are a lot of sincere students, no doubt about it, but it becomes difficult to actually tap on who is being honest and who's answering the paper very diligently, and who is using other modes.
After they got exposed to online teaching learning, realized that there are so many open educational resources available free, and they can learn so many things from other, like actually the whole it is global school. I can say that the whole earth is a school for the students, even from any other university in USA or any other university in India. They can learn, and this kind of awareness, this kind of literacy they have achieved. with online learning. And if they find anything difficult, they have the recorded lectures of the teachers. So teachers sometimes are on leave and they have recorded the lecture. They can record and show the lecture. And with Google Suite, we are using that mode, and it has helped us a lot. And I think best of both we can take and make our teaching learning process in beautiful. And in future, I feel even after the situation is over, pandemic situation is over, everything is fine, we will adopt both the modes of teaching learning, offline as well as online.
Thank you for watching Go and Edit the Social Insider. Do subscribe, like, and follow us on YouTube, and also check out our social media pages to stay abreast with what we're doing, and do give us suggestions and feedback. It matters a lot to us. Thank you once again.